Now we'll move to the public.
Hello, my name's Charles Hughes, 31 North Child Street, Woodbury, New Jersey. Thank you for letting me speak tonight. I handed out, you should all have handouts. The front page has everything in it and everything else is backup. I'm talking to you in general about transportation in Washington Township. The first thing I'd like to talk about is a proposed light rail project from Glassboro to Camden called the GCL. And I assert that Washington Township would derive no benefit from that. In 1996, the Gloucester County Board of Freeholders put out a resolution opposing the light rail, and it shut the project down for 7 years, pardon me. Freeholder Director James Atkinson said the money could be used in a better fashion than on the state-recommended Conrail route. And they called it the Conrail route because there were other ideas of running the train or buses down 42 and 55. He went on to say it doesn't address the 4,000 car trips a day coming out of Washington Township, said Atkinson, a township resident. He's the one that the county park is named after. Also, he said that the route ignores a major employment center, the Pure Land Industrial Park on the other side of the county in Logan Township. Now, we've been studying this for 3 years, and today we believe that the best mass transit idea for Gloucester County is called demand-driven rideshare, and it's successfully operating in Jersey City, Camden City, and New Brunswick. The program in Jersey City has moved 2 million people since it was instituted in 2020. It works just like Uber does, if anybody's ever taken Uber. My friend and I went to Camden 2 weeks ago. I downloaded the app onto my phone. It knew where I was. I said, I want to go to this restaurant. It said, in 20 minutes, a driver called Cecilia in a black Chrysler minivan with the following license will pick you up. And 20 minutes on the dot, they showed up. It cost me $2 and it cost him $1. And all these systems work that way. I'm trying to find out how much the real cost of it is because I think it does get subsidized. But these vehicles, these minivans, fleets that they have, are always full. The New Jersey Transit buses in South Jersey are always empty. So that's why these things only work if people need them. There was an article, a letter to the editor in the South Jersey Times that I saw back in January, and it was entitled, Jobs Grow in South Jersey, but Working Poor Cannot Reach Them. And it was by Frank Miner, the mayor of Logan Township. And he said, I'm sitting on top of 4,500 job opportunities, but close to 1,000 of them could be filled by the working poor, people who don't have cars because they don't have money, and I have no way to get there. And he went on to say that he negotiated with New Jersey Transit to have round-the-clock buses because they do 3-shift operations. I sent him an email. I sent him the information for the mayor of Jersey City and Camden and some others, and said, why don't you put your heads together and do something? He's moving out on a rideshare system. I asked him, where are you getting the money from? That's an important question.
Always, sure.
He said, I got 120 businesses in Logan Township, and I told them that I was going to help them get good employees, and they said, so I think they're going to do a public-private partnership. Now, there are lots of people in Washington Township. I think there's 2,500 people below the poverty line in Washington Township. If they could get to work, they would work. So if you get a chance, talk to Mayor Miner, and maybe you could put your head together on that. And the last thing I'd like to say is I'd ask you to think about, if you agree with me that that this light rail isn't going to help Washington Township, even though you're going to contribute through your state income tax to the $5 billion price tag for it and the $50 million a year operating cost for it, then please consider a resolution opposing this. And the rest of this package, I have resolutions. Woodbury Heights put out one, Pittman put out one, Winona put out one, Mantua put out one, and then historically I put the one from Gloucester County in there as well. You see what the other, so 4 out of the 7 municipalities along the line in Gloucester County are opposing it. And this time, by December, we think that we're going to have Woodbury, Westville, and Glassboro voting on this in ballot questions, Gloucester City, and Brook Lawn as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hughes. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Tony Alverio. I live at 522 Delaware Street in Woodbury. And I am one of the people that spearhead this fight with the GCL. Let me give you a little bit of background. I want to speak too much because I could talk about this thing for hours and hours and hours and give you all kinds of information. I just want you to know that most of the research that's coming out doesn't agree with what the Delaware Port Authority says comes out of our group. Okay, we are the one that distribute all the research, mainly because Charlie is an engineer, satellite engineer, and I was an analyst for the Philadelphia Housing Authority. I directed 4 of their departments for over 45 years, so I know what I'm talking about. But what I want to tell you basically is that we are in a dogfight, and we're in a dogfight with the Gloucester County. We're in a dogfight because although we are not political, because we have people in there, Democrats, Republicans, and the independents, sometimes this thing gets political, okay? But with the county, it's a particular situation because this is Mr. Sweeney and Mr. Norquist's baby. They're pushing this thing full blast. Now, if you look at the map, that little red line that you see on the map, that's 18 miles. Every other place in South Jersey is a transportation desert. You cannot get there anywhere except 3 lines by buses, and those buses are empty. So we started fighting this thing because mainly it impacted negatively on every one of the township along that rail, okay? So we said, well, you know, you can't fight something if you don't have something to replace it. And that's why we came out and we actually found a good replacement. Mr. Hughes talked about rideshare. I wish you keep that in mind because it works. It works very well. But we are hoping that's going to happen here is that we get a rideshare county-wise so that we can cover and service the whole county. And let me tell you, a couple of bucks to go throughout the county is not a bad idea. It's a good idea, okay? This thing for you particularly is bad because you're paying for it and you're getting absolutely nothing for it. We're getting something for it. We're getting all the negatives, okay? And every township has a particular negative. If you go to Westville, they got water negative. They actually want to put a station in a wetland. They don't tell you that in the environmental statement, okay? But we found out, okay? In Winona, they would contaminate all the water lakes around Winona. In Woodbury, I don't know if you ever been on Delaware Street from the station to Main Street on would be Delaware, changes into Cooper to Delaware, and then the other one is Broad. But if you go up from the station to the light, it takes 4 minutes when during traffic time to go from the station to the light. This light rail comes every 7.5 minutes. Every 7.5 minutes. Can you imagine the kind of gridlock they're going to have over there? Okay? Another big thing that we don't like is the cost. The cost of this thing is immense. We figure out now it's about $5 billion. $5 billion to cover just a little bit of a red line. Wouldn't $5 billion buy a lot of ride-share vehicles that could cost every one of us a couple of bucks? So why are we back in this monstrosity? We're back in this monstrosity because Norcross and Sweeney and all the people in the Gloucester County, that's what they want. Okay? We're hoping that you hear us, and we're hoping that you heard what Mr. Hughes saying. We'd like to have this thing on the ballot, on the docket for next meeting, and maybe you can pass a resolution against it and back us up. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.